Good afternoon, brothers. So, we are done with the dialogues, and this is the first report of the thematic. So, first is Plato's understanding of truth. So, for the content of this report, there are four contents. First is the situation of man in the cave, liberation of man within the cave, the genuine liberation of man to the primordial life, and the freed prisoners returned to the cave. So, basi katingala kung anong kanaang content niya, so alam ko katingala. Because in this report, we will analyze how Plato explains his understanding of truth in the Book 7 of the Republic, entitled The Analogy of Allegory of the Cave. So, for the introduction, so one of the famous modern pragmatist philosophers, John Dewey, renders truth as something elusive. So, in the pragmatic sense of the term, truths are restricted to those that have cash values, that is something useful. From this point of view, truth becomes elusive as reality demands a new truth that would best fit a situation. Compared to the ancient times, especially during the time of Plato, truth was not something like an elusive entity. Rather, it was a fixed, unchanging, and permanent entity. However, this fixed, unchanging, and permanent entity also contains an elusiveness, not in a pragmatic understanding, but from the fact that truth is something that needs to be unveiled. So, truth can be understood as unhidden. Everything that is unhidden is always directly visible to a perceiver. The difficulty arises here because of an irony that is creeping. While what a perceiver sees is unhidden to him or her, these things that he sees may not be the truth. This is exactly how Plato describes and understands truth. All truths are unhidden, but not all unhidden are necessarily the truth, or are necessarily the truth. So, natay mga ma-perceive na butang, but then, dili ta sure kung kanatong nagitan is tinuod ba siya. Although ang tinuod is always nato siya, always siya naka-unveil, but then dili pasabog na tanan naka-unveil sa tuwa mo na siya ang tinuod. So, let's proceed to the first content, the situation of man in the cave. So, in this part, Socrates asked Glaucon to imagine persons who are chained inside a cave, restricting them from moving their heads. Behind the prisoners is a path where people can pass by. Behind this path is a bar which causes the shadow to cast onto the wall whenever someone passes by the path. Socrates then asked Glaucon whether those who are chained can recognize that what they see and hear are real beings or just mere shadows. So, in this first part of the allegory of the cave, ipa-imagine ni Socrates si Glaucon sa pili nga situation na mga pinariso na ilang makita is ang wall lang na yung fire sa likod na ilang makita is ang shadow na nag-aalihagin. So, in Plato's allegory, the first occurrence of truth is the recognition that there is indeed an unhidden. So, in the case of those who are chained, they have mistaken the shadows as the truth. The cave dwellers do not consider what they have before them as unhidden to be a semblance of something else. Instead, they would not hesitate to acknowledge what is before them as beings. So this is how Plato illustrates the world of senses in the Republic. We see things, but these things are mere shadows of what is true. So kato mga prisoners sa allegory of the cave is na sila makita nga unhidden, but then ilahatong na mislok nila itong mga shadow as the truth. Well, in fact, shadow lang siya sa tinuod na being. So that's the first occurrence of truth. The second is the liberation of man within the cave. So, after di pa imagine ni Socrates si Glaucon sa katong mga prisoner, ang sunod kahitabo is ang isa ka prisoner is kana nakagawas siya sa gikan sa piyahang pagka-arena. Then Socrates added that the flickering brightness of the light may cause pain to the freed prisoner. So pagkanaw sa katong nakabuhi ng prisoner sa light na nasa likod is nag-cause of pain sa iyaha. And he cannot see straightly and properly in those things. Moreover, Socrates noted that when this prisoner sees the source of the shadow, it would be filled with confusion. So, malibog na siya kung ang tinuod ba katong shadow ngayon nakita o katong source sa shadow. So, in Plato's allegory, this is the second occurrence of truth. When one recognizes that what he or she sees are mere shadows. The moments one realizes that there is something truer than what we used to consider as true. This turning towards the truth is painful and requires great effort. So this pain may cause us to turn again from what we used to. In this part of the allegory, Plato emphasizes the role of education. Constant adherence to truth is necessary in order to really grasp the truth. Education is important as the removal of the shackles is thus not genuine emancipation, for it remains external and fails to penetrate man in his innermost self. The circumstances of the prisoner change, but his inner condition and his willingness do not. So, here in the second occurrence of truth is nakagawas na, nakabuhi na ang prisoner, but then maglisod pa siya gawang sa kamaturan tungkol kay naanak siya sa katong shadow lang niyang makitaan. So, here, i-emphasize ni Plato ang importance sa education na kinahanglan na to muhawa sa ignorance and then mu-adhere sa truth. Then the third occurrence of truth will be discussed by Seminary.
So in continuation, the genuine liberation of man to the primordial light. So as the freed prisoner ascends out of the cave into the sunlight, he immediately experienced the true nature of reality for the first time. Now when the freed prisoner returns to the cave to share his knowledge with the other prisoners, they reject him because the people inside were comfortable with their limited understanding of reality and are unwilling to accept anything beyond the shadows of the cave wall. So sama pa sa ingon ni friends na after na liberate na ang katong tao, ang prisoner ikan sa cave, at first is ma-stand or what is ka ng kalitan ito sa suga na nagpalibot sa gawas. So it includes pain and suffering kay at the first nanganad masyadong ngit-ngit niya, nakalitan ng suga. So this segment represents the stages of the journey towards enlightenment and understanding of truth by Plato. So at first, Plato imagines that the prisoner is being thrown violently from a dark cave into the light. This prisoner would be hurt and possibly fight against the intense light. However, as the prisoner would gradually start to see things themselves, followed by shadows and reflections, his eyes were adjusted. In the end, he would be able to look straight at the sun and comprehend its significance to the planet. So kato, nagpasabot na dili pasabot na kalitan ka sa suga is dili na ka maka-adjust. So in this sense, Plato emphasizes the constant and gradual conversion of oneself to be accustomed to the truth. So in continuation, the prisoner would feel luckily for his newfound awareness and sympathy for those who are still imprisoned in darkness as he learns more about the world outside the cave. So after the prisoners were being liberated in the cave, so feel ko sa sympathy nga nasa sulod nga nagpuyo ra sa ignorance o sa mga illusions nga present inside the cave. So because of that, after the prisoner attained the liberation, so Plato emphasizes that genuine liberation transcends beyond what is normative, that does not equate to a form of exit from the cave and release from shackles. So, sa inato nga pamangagi, after nga ma-liberate na ang prisoner, dili lang kasabot nga dito nataman kay achieve naman niya ang enlightenment. So after ato, masunod na ta sa second topic ay sa fourth and the last stage of occurrence of truth according to Plato. So according to Plato, the last and fourth stage is the free prisoners return to the cave. So as the free prisoner ascends out the cave to the sunlight, he immediately experience the true nature of reality for the first time. Because of this, when the free prisoner returns to the cave to share his knowledge with the other prisoners as a normal way of action or react kung nasulod, kay i-reject siya. And kay katong mga tao sa sulod, naanad naman sila sa ilang naandan nga ilang nakitaan kada adlaw o kanunay. In this way, Plato uses this allegory to illustrate his belief in the existence of a higher reality, which he calls the realm of form ideas. And it serves as a symbol for the philosopher's journey to enlightenment and the challenges they face in trying to enlighten others who are content with their ignorance. So after na-liberate ng prisoner sa sulod, pagbalik niya sa sulod, i-share niya yung knowledge ng mga ang truth nga iyang ating is kanang normal yun nga mo react ang kanang mga prisoner sulod kay wala sila naanan. Yeah. In this way, panunduman niya mo tayo Plato of what had happened to Socrates during his lifetime na napatay siya tungkol sa pag-pursue sa truth. So, the allegory of the cave ends with the unfortunate prospect of being killed, which is the most radical ejection from the human historical community. Yet, it is not a matter of death in general, but of death as the fate of him who seeks to release the prisoners, the death of the liberator. In conclusion, as a liberator of the prisoners, the philosopher exposes himself to the fate of death in the cave that obviously reminds us of the death of Socrates. So, sa kanina, sa pagpangita ni Plato sa truth, Plato emphasizes that it is not merely about achieving the truth, but sharing the truth with others. So, mo to ang iyang punto. So it is clear that liberation for Plato does not achieve its final goal by merely ascent to the sun, but rather genuine freedom means to be a liberator from the dark who cares for others. And it is in returning in the cave that the enlightened one genuinely realize and actualize freedom. So, kung kay Plato ka kay be a philosopher king. So, pursue for truth even if matay ka tungod sa pagpangita o pag sa kamatuoran. So, muna to, salamat.